Hello, Ian here from Dark Blades Workshop. Welcome back to another video. In this one we're doing a bit of Star Wars. Okay, to start off, I've given it a coat of Vallejo's Dark Sea Blue. And I'm just doing a second pass on that, but I'm not going as far up as the first coat. Just to create like a staggered gradient. So I'm going up to the line of the mouth there. And I'll just work my way around. So I'll go up to about there and there. I'm using an old dry brush for this because there's no real technique to it. It's just getting a layer down. So I'll carry on with that and I'll be back in a bit. So my next stage on my palette, I've got Dark Sea Blue, light turquoise, blue green, and if I need it, glacier blue. Now what I've done, I've put about 2 drops of paint on the palette, then a drop of retarder. Amsterdam retarder, one of the best on the market in my opinion, and a drop of water. And what I'm going to do is I want to create a gradient going up towards lighter towards the top. So we've got 2 coats of Dark Sea Blue underneath there, 1 coat there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply the rest of the Dark Sea Blue to where I've been. Go up slightly a little bit higher just to make sure I've got everything covered before I'll do one side at a time before I move on to the next bit. So remember, there's retarder in this paint now. So what I've got now is the light turquoise. I'm just going to apply that, especially on areas where it's more pronounced, like the back of the jaw there. And because we've got retarder in there, it'll give you time to work it from where we put the Dark Sea Blue down, and you can blend it together. And if you need to add more, go ahead and add more, especially to the hind quarters there and the top of the shoulders, not so much on the belly. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to create. There's a little mistake there. That's okay, we can work with it. And then another pass of the light turquoise just to build up that colour. And you can probably guess what's coming next. Is the blue-green. So I think a few painters will probably say this is wet on wet, but I don't think there's any really fancy name for it. It's just blending. So trying to get a nice transition of colour. So we got the 2 coats of dark sea blue all the way up to the blue-green now. And I'm going to leave that dry. We'll see what happens. So while that's drying, we'll do the other side. Okay, so we've got a bit of a gradient going. The transitions are a bit dodgy in some places, but don't worry about that just yet because you can sort that out quite easily. If I do a 50-50 mix, for instance, of the dark sea blue and the light turquoise, which should go in there, just put that one back in. I'll go down to the dark sea blue, add that in there, and then go up to the light turquoise, which should be on the top, which is there. All I'm going to do is get a bit of water on my brush. And just blend those two areas together. And it really is that quick. And now I've got a little bit of glacier blue in the blue-green. And what I'm going to do is just stipple it along the top line, you know, along the center of the body line. Bit like a dry brush. So now we switch to the airbrush now. So I've got the light turquoise in my brush now, and I'm just going to try and get a slightly better blend so it looks a bit better. Just little blasts here and there. So we'll get that eyelid. This is where you can tidy up all those little areas that just doesn't look quite right. And then we'll move up to the next tone. Okay, so this is the blue-green. I've put a tiny bit of the glacier blue in it. So now we're going to be hitting the top areas where they highlight. So top of those hindquarters, top of the shoulders, across the shoulders, That'll do for that one. Okay, so it's about 50-50 blue-green with glacier blue. It's just going across the top there. Yeah, that's looking okay now. What I'm going to do is concentrate on the face a bit more. So get those eyelids in. And the nostrils. I notice I try to look at it at every angle just to make sure the blends are looking okay. So there's a little bit of a stark transition there, so we can try and sort that out, but I wouldn't do it with a highlight colour now. I'd go back to, say, the light turquoise or something just to bring that back, but I think it's looking okay. I thought I'd push the boat out and go pure glacier blue now. Maybe a mistake, but we'll give it a go. It's just a light dusting along the top. Definitely leaving it there. So the only details we need to do now is around the mouth, and the eyes, and then obviously the straps. But yeah, it's getting there. It's looking all right. So for around the mouth, I've got Vallejo's orange brown. I picked orange obviously because we've got a blue body and it'll be a nice colour to go with it. I'm just going to pick out every scale individually. Might take a while, so I won't bore you with it. We'll come back when he's done, probably after a second coat as well. So and after a nice opaque layer. Okay, so that's a couple of coats now. What I'm going to do is go in again with the same colour, but this time I'm going to concentrate the paint down the bottom part of each scale. So I'll just pull down to the bottom half, so that colour becomes more intense than the top part of it.
the nostril, I'm going on the top of this part and then the edge along there. So I'm not hitting the whole area. I mean, we did, well, the last coat I went all the way around there, but I'm just hitting that bit and that bit. And for the bottom lip, we're going up the top part, obviously, because that's where the light is going to hit it.
So next up, I've added some dark sand to the orange, so not too much. I'd say about 70% is the orange brown still.
So just a little bit of dark sand in there, and the same again, I'm going to highlight down the bottom again. On the top part of the bottom lip.
With the eye, nostril, sorry.
Just going to hit that bit.
Second pass. One more. And I'll do another pass, but this time I've added more dark sand.
Just doing like an edge highlight there.
Okay. So final highlight now. I've added a little bit of white to that original mix that we were using. So it looks a bit like
Kislev Flash. And I'm just going to put a tiny highlight at each corner. Bottom of these ones. I think it's a little bit too dilute, but I might need another pass. But it's looking good. So I've just added a bit more paint into the mix, so it's less dilute now. And again, I'll just work my way around. Maybe a second pass here and there.
So I'm going back to the dark sea blue that's still on my palette. I'm just gonna
Put it in the top of the eye socket there. Just pull it out using those scales there. And do a couple of coats just to make sure it's nice and dark.
And I'll do the same for the bottom of the eye as well.
Because I'm going to pick that out. I'm going to use the scales. I'm going to pick it out with glacier blue
around the eye. Might be too light, but we'll never know until we do it. No, I'm going to chicken out and you and go blue-green instead.
See what it's like. No, you can only just make that out, so we'll go glacier blue. don't go too light because
the eye is going to be light as well, isn't it?
So I'll just do this part.
Okay. So to finish up on the Dewback, what I did was put a bit of orange in the eye socket and then dotted it with yellow, and it was done. Just standard leather straps, and there was about 3 different browns for these pouches, and the Stormtrooper's pretty straightforward anyway. So yeah, not bad. It was a nice little project to get done. And so this is for my grandson, so I think you'll enjoy it. What I need to do now is give it a quick coat of probably clear lacquer. It's like a gloss varnish. So give it a bit of protection for him to play with them then. So it'll go well with the Stormtroopers, which are over here. I'll say nothing fancy, it's just a standard colour scheme for them. So yeah, it's good fun. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna probably get some Star Wars stuff for myself now, so because I enjoyed it so much, I might do some my own Stormtroopers. I think they've upgraded since these since they brought these out. They brought out a lot better quality Stormtroopers now, and I think they're a bit bigger as well. So if the Dewback is bigger, I'll be quite happy to get hold of one of them. Thank you. So that's it from me for now. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.